Maybe everyone, it's Nicole the Blind Maid, sharing a bit of magic with the world, and today I will be doing the Authortube story idea tag.
It is your current story that you're working on.
And right now, I am in the middle of two editing projects. One is my poetry book, Shadow Abyss, which will be coming out on Yule, December 21st.
Ooh.
And the other editing project is taking Hunted, the Moral's Kiss, and turning that into strips for people to read for the audiobook. And besides that, like Lauren says, I have a scroll, like she does, and I either want to do that and redo my idea for Dark Beauty, which was a blend of Beauty and the Beast with Phantom and magic, or go back to another story I was writing called Superhero and see if I can finish it.
Now, if you finish Superhero, will it be a trilogy or a series?
I don't know. I think if I really wrote it, it was going to be a standalone.
I can see it being a trilogy. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like a play on like the concept of DC heroes and like their holy trilogy, and then they have like the minor heroes beneath them.
I guess you could do it that way, but it's not how I wrote it.
Next question. Do your ideas start with the characters, plot, world building, or something else?
For me, stories either start with the plot or the characters. Either I'll have an idea and I'll try to figure out what characters will fit it, or I'll have a character and I want to fit a story around it.
Next question. How do you go about putting the pieces together of your story? Do you start from the end, working your way to the beginning, or vice versa?
So, Lauren says I'm more of a planner and that I'll have an outline. But for me, what I mostly have is I'll have a really good idea for a story, and I'll have that mapped out, and then I'll go back to writing it and see how I can flesh out the story and add the characters. Now, usually what I do is I start off with a skeleton, and then I go back and fill it in with the pieces missing.
Next question. When do you know whether or not to keep or dump a story idea?
I never toss an idea. Whether it be either a story or a poetry idea. I always write them down and I hold on to them, because sometimes I might flaunt an idea, but I might come back and circle around and use it, or either change the story and reuse the idea in a different way. But I never throw anything away.
Hoarder.
It's not a hoarder. I meant with writing.
Yeah, I know. Story idea hoarder.
No!
I never threw anything away.
Yes, you never know when to use the idea.
That's true. And then what if you threw it away and then you wanted it later down the road?
But I'm not as bad of a hoarder though. Gosh.
I think in your brain you have a library full of idea like book. Next question, and I thought this one was hard. So, once your novel is finished, how much of the original idea is kept?
For me, when the novel's done, I may still have one or two of the main plot points still in it. Like for Hunted, 3 scenes were kept from the version 0 strip of the story. But I feel like for me, what stays that was original was the characters. Because when I write characters, I'll LARP or act out the character in my head when writing. So they'll stay the same regardless of what strip or version of the story I'm writing.
Next question. Do you keep your story ideas hidden or do you share them with friends and family?
I think I do kind of both. I know when I'm writing a story with Lauren, I'll do it to her and talk out the ideas and see if we're on the same wavelength. But unless Lauren's editing it or looking at it for me, I really don't share a lot of my ideas for stories. I'll write them down myself or write a rough version before I show it to her.
Next question. Have any of your ideas originated from a dream or a nightmare?
I think that's true for some of my poems. That some of my dreams would inspire a concept or a couple lines from them. And as well as when writing a fanfic. Sometimes I'll go to bed thinking of the scene I'm working on and hope that during the night I'll get an idea or a breakthrough I'm stuck.
But no non-inspiration from nightmares?
No, most nightmares I don't really remember. I think that's a good thing.
I don't know, I can see you playing off if you were going to write a horror story.
I thought we promised or made awareness that I'm not allowed to write horror stories.
Yes.
I mean, I write the villain for a reason, except for Hunted. That was weird. But most of the times I'm not allowed to show outside. It scares Lauren.
Next question. Have you ever had a story idea that you saw a premise in another book or TV or film?
Yes. I would say for my fanfics, I would go to write it, and before I'm done writing out the chapter or the idea, I will see it on the show and be like, what's the point in writing this now? Then people think I stole it from them, but it's like, I gave the idea first.
Well, remember, most film and TV have an entire writing crew. So just because you came up with it doesn't mean that they couldn't have.
I know, but it's still annoying when you think you have this wonderful idea, then you're like, what's the point in writing it since it's already been shown?
But the whole idea of a fanfic is to share your own spin on something.
Right, but I'm saying, when you see the episode and it's word for word exactly how you pictured it,
That's creepy.
what is the point then to write
Bad, creepy.
And that happens to me a lot.
Sound like you had a mind meld with the creators. Next question. Has any TV or film inspired any of the scenes in your book?
I wouldn't say inspire my scenes. A lot of times I'll use my favorite characters from books, movies, video games, or shows, and I'll use either their traits or personality to inspire my own characters. Or sometimes use them as the headset or mind idea for them. For example, for Hunted, I based Donovan off of Virgil Sparta from Don't Be Cry.
Yay!
And I'll do that for a lot of stories, is that I'll have a character reflect someone else I liked and use that to portray them.
Man, I heard you that you use Virgil. Like, his dialect is so intimidating.
Well, originally I was using a mix between Alucard and Dracula from Castlevania. Then I realized that it was too muddied or not clean enough for my liking for Donovan. So I had to switch it up.
Now you're happy with the final product, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say unless you're familiar with the character, I don't know if you would pick up on the influence right away. But then once you were to tell someone, I think they would see that.
I mean, I do that for a lot of my stories, that they'll be based off of either a favorite character or favorite character trait that I want to show more of.
Final question. What is the first or oldest story you remember writing?
Oh god, you're just so rushing for this.
No!
Yes. It was my first story, but it was also my first giant mistake as a writer.
But you learned from it.
The story was called Demonic Angel, and it was based off of after reading the books for Da Vinci Code, Angel and Demons. And it was the idea of the war between demons or people with special abilities and angels, and having one person be the key to stop the war. But at the time, I did not know about there being a limit on characters. So I had close to 30.
Oh my!
Yeah. It was really a tip to Dana Fern before that book was created.
So what are you going to do with it now? Since you said you never throw away an idea.
So I decided recently to go back to it and break it down into book series of novellas. Sorry. And have it focus on one or two characters and kind of almost do it how the MCU did it for a story. Is have it focus on two characters and at the end introduce a new character and then the book changes in their point of view. Which I did not intentionally do that, I just realized similarity to them. So, since there's no more questions, right, Laura?
That was the last one.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's kind of interesting. It gives you a mindset of the inner workings of a writer and what they're working on and what inspires or influences their writing styles.
Ooh.
If you guys like this video, comment below, or if there's any other questions that you'd like me to answer, you can write there as well. And until next time, Remy.